Well, hello there, all you beautiful souls, and welcome back to Morning Java for the Soul. I'm so happy that you're stopping by here to hang out with me. And today we are talking about learning to dance with the cosmos. So this virtual coffee chat, we're going to dig into the astrological events that they're saying are so mathematically impossible or statistically impossible that the probability of all these events happening all within this short period of time would be astronomically impossible. And there is an interesting series of events that have been going on in the month of September all the way through, with big emphasis on September 23rd, 2023. If you have not seen my autumn equinox episode, the first one I released at the beginning of the week, go back and check that out. That'll give you some basics about the autumn equinox leading into the rest of this information that I'm going to share with you today that has kind of come to me in bits and pieces over the last couple weeks, and I've been putting it together. I just saw 111, putting it together for this episode. What a lot of people are seeing, what a lot of channelers and mediums are seeing, is that there is an intricate compiling of astral events that will be known as the greatest cosmic coincidence ever seen. So you guys get in your comfy chair, grab your cup of java, grab your cup of tea, whatever it is you do to relax. Some of us go more herbal, natural substance. That's okay too. Whatever is your gig, that is up to you. And let's get into this virtual chat. So the first thing I'd like to talk to you about is a very rare discovery that happened August 13th of 2023. Now, a comet was discovered by a hobbyist astronomer, someone who had, just because they loved looking at the sky, had purchased a telescope and had become actively looking at the skies as part of their life for a good part of 40 years. He discovered a new visitor in our solar system, a very mysterious comet that had never been seen before. Now, Hideo Nishimuro, an amateur Japanese astronomer from Kagawa, Japan, saw a faint fuzzy object and thought that it could be a comet. He then captured several photos and sent them to the Minor Planet Center, also known as MPC. MPC is responsible for collecting and verifying observations in space that are considered small bodies in our solar system. MPC confirmed the new comet, giving it the official designation of C 2023 P1 Nishimuro. At the current location, this comet was 300 million kilometers away from the sun, which is roughly 2 times the distance between the Earth and the sun. It was moving at approximately 70 kilometers per second, and I did the math here. I wanted to bring that down to miles for those of us in the Western world, and that equates to 155,342.80 miles per hour. So Comet Nishimuro was on the move. One thing we know about comets is that they are notoriously unpredictable, meaning anything can happen. This is because there are so many outside factors influencing the speed and the trajectory of a comet flying through space. They have the potential to be evaporated by the sun. We've seen it before. They can fall apart or vanish completely under the energy's influence of the sun. The X factor of anything could happen. So this comet in particular showed a very interesting aspect. Most comets have an elliptical orbit, meaning that their path or their pattern periodically brings them back into our inner solar system. But Comet Nishimuro did not have an elliptical orbit. It was observed to be having a hyperbolic orbit, which means that it has enough speed to escape the gravitational pull of the sun and leave the solar system forever. Although we could see it, and it was discovered on August 13th of 2023, there is a very big chance that it could never be seen again. As it comes around the sun, it can slingshot and just go out into the outer solar system. This hyperbolic orbit makes Comet Nishimuro very different, very unusual. This is going to be considered the once-in-a-lifetime spectacle as it approached our solar system as it approached our Earth. Very few comets have ever been observed in this hyperbolic orbit. Very few. So it was expected to reach the closest point to the Earth on September 16th. I did some research before I made this video, and I found out that it actually showed itself on September 12th. And there is a lot of pictures of it. I'll show you one now. Knowing that it was going to slingshot around the sun, after it was discovered, they weren't sure whether or not we'd really ever see it again. But it turns out Comet Nishimura will be seen again in approximately 430 to 435 years from now. That's a long time, but it didn't get flung so far out that it was never going to be seen again. So it was definitely a once in a lifetime comet, and that is the first thing that happened that was very rare. So remember I said that it was seen by our telescopes and our naked eye on planet Earth around the 12th. Well, during that time, we were dead smack in the middle of the 9/9 miracle portal, which opened up approximately on September 9th and remains open until the 18th. Now, those energies are a little bit before and a little bit after, but they peaked during that 9-day period of time. And Comet Nishimura made its appearance during the 9/9 portal. So the next thing that happened after Comet Nishimura was discovered on August 13th of 2023, on August 30th, we had a once in a blue moon, super blue moon. Now the super blue moon is again a gateway or a portal where the energies are all aligned for us to be able to manifest things. If you haven't checked out my video on super blue moons and how to manifest, it doesn't just have to be a super blue moon. Those manifestation techniques can be used every day, all day, but they are especially heightened if we use the manifestation techniques during these heightened energetic times. So on August 30th, this super blue moon delivered the northern fish of Pisces, meaning this super blue moon was in Pisces, and this is known as the twin flame fish. When we have this unity of the northern fish in Pisces coming together with the southern fish of Pisces, then we have a unity, a balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Now the divine masculine is the red fish and the divine feminine is the blue fish. Makes me think of that book that we read as a child, One Fish, Two Fish, Blue Fish. There is a book in there. So what this is saying, and what astronomers are saying, that because Pisces went into its full super blue moon, that it's a symbolizing things are flipping back to the way they used to be. So this super blue moon brought a very powerful energy in Pisces going through a transition. On September 5th, we had 7 planets go into retrograde. Retrograde is a period of time where we reflect, we reassess, we redetermine anything that starts with retry, reapproach. And it gives us the energies of being able to look back at people, places, experiences that we had and see them in a different light or under a different lens with a different perspective. And then what we learn from those experiences, we can then take forward. So the 7 planets were in retrograde from September 5th, and they ended on September 16th during the 9/9 portal. So again, we've had both these events of the Comet Nishimura coming through. We had the 7 planets in retrograde ending. All this has happened now in this 9/9 miracle portal, along with the super blue moon going into Pisces and having that energy flip with the twin flames being able to come into union. So next what happened is asteroid 4580, named the child, sits in orbit between Mars and Jupiter in this main portion of the asteroid belt. Now the asteroid child is a large asteroid. meaning based on its brightness and the way that it reflects light. Child is probably between 9.2 to 20 kilometers in diameter, making it larger than 99% of the asteroids. Now, this is very roughly comparable to the size of the city of Cleveland, Ohio. So this is a very, very large asteroid that orbits between Mars and Jupiter. Now, it sat there in its orbit like it has done for thousands of years. For as long as we have recordings of this asteroid, it stayed in its own territory. But recently, it made a move. We can watch it on the app Stellarium, the free open source planetarium for your electronic devices, and it is showing that the asteroid 4580 named Child, this very large asteroid, started moving for the first time in recorded history. Since we've been keeping records as a human species, it literally started to move itself from the constellation of Leo into the constellation of Virgo, which is considered arriving in her womb. Now, when we look at the Virgo constellation, it kind of, to me, looks like a rag doll, and the square is kind of the belly. So this asteroid called the Child is expected to arrive, or has arrived whenever you're listening to this, in the womb of the Virgo constellation between September 17th and September 19th. Now, I found a YouTube channel called Capturing the Days, where he has a video titled Bible Prophecy. A meteor named Child will orbit into Virgo, represented by the Virgin. This is him coining the phrase that this is going to be the greatest cosmic coincidence ever seen, and he is connecting it directly to Revelations 12, biblical prophecy. Now, the Bible is not the only culture or only religion that has prophesied this return, they say, of Christ, the rapture, right? That's what the Christian version of rapture is all about. We were described it as, Christ coming down in the physical form, floating out of the sky. They perceived that prophetic dream, kind of very literally. When you shift your perspective just a little bit, you can understand how the spiritual community is saying, I just saw 14:14, the return of Christ is the return of Christ's consciousness. Revelations means revealing, and things are being revealed to us so that we understand we're spiritual energetic being. We are source light. We are co-creator with the universe, and thus the revelation is reminding us, allowing us to remember who we are. And as the energetic frequency rises in our cosmos and on our planet and in our bodies individually, we are becoming more enlightened. We are becoming more filled with source light energy, and that is what allows our spiritual ascension or awakening to happen. The more light we take in, the more those denser old energies and frequencies move out as we do our healing, the more we can rise into those higher frequencies. So Revelations is a revealing, this prophecy, we are dead smack in the middle of it. It's happening right now, and it's a very exciting time. So nothing I'm saying here is to put you in a fearful state. Fear is the opposite direction we want to go in. We want to be excited about these changes because, like the Bible said, heaven would be brought down on earth, right? But now we're learning that the kingdom of heaven is within. And by shifting frequencies and getting out of this third dimensional lower density, we're able to rise up in the higher frequencies and thus gain our gifts back, remembering who we are as a spiritual being, and therefore bringing peace on earth. Because if you live consciously, knowing that we're all one, we're all of source, that we're not separate, that we're not diversified, we're not better, we're not worse, we're all just experiencing what we would like to experience. We are choosing to co-create our universe and have these realities, these people, places, things, and experiences so that we can grow spiritually. And we chose to be here during this very special time that is aligning up synchronistically all over the astral realms in so many different ways. So we saw that we had a new discovery of a comet. We saw that we had a super blue moon that brought in the moon in Pisces, the twin flame energies being flipped back to their rightful place and coming into their power. We saw that 7 planets in retrograde, the time of looking back is over. Now we're looking forward and we're moving into the higher realms. The miracle portal opened on 9/9. We had during that portal time a newly discovered comet Nishimuro past the Earth, and now we have an asteroid that has not moved in thousands of years. As long as we've been recording or tracking its trajectory, it has suddenly moved, come into the constellation of Virgo, and is sitting in the wound of Virgo as we're sitting here speaking right now at this virtual coffee shop. So when I said to buckle up and get ready for a wild ride, that was no joke. And Revelations 12 talks about all this happening. Some people don't know how to connect astrological events and astrology to the Christian religion. The Bible and Revelation talks all about astrology. It's nothing but astrology, and the zodiac signs and the energies that went into our soul and where they were in the astral planes is what made up our soul, our archetypes. And tarot cards are a resemblance of all those elements and all those signs and all those energies so that we can tap in and we can speak directly with the universe. It's a tool to communicate using our intuition and symbolism. So all these pieces of the puzzle are coming together. As you spiritually ascend, you start to understand the astronomy. You start to understand astrology. You get introduced to tarot, which teaches you to listen to your intuition. I became a tarot reader when I started the Twin Flame journey out of curiosity because of what had transpired of getting duplicate tarot readings between me and another person, which was a once in a lifetime, a probability, a statistic that was so improbable it would be a once in the moon or an astronomical event. Now, I don't know what the statistics of getting dual tarot readings. I haven't done the math. I'm not that good in math. That's my weakness. But I can tell you that it was rare, and that started me on my journey. So the universe was making sure that we were given a big, huge wake-up call of, look what I can do. So that's how my spiritual journey kicked into high gear. It had started 1.5 years before, and we all have a different path. We all have a different story. And what's exciting is that we are all experiencing this at the same time. So everybody here at this virtual coffee chat, thanks for hanging out with me today, because we are all in this together. And I appreciate you putting your time and your energy towards this. So now that the comet has made its appearance, it's come and gone, we look at the significance of a comet. Let's go down that rabbit hole for just a second. We know that comets are very unpredictable because there's so many X factors that can take them off their route or their orbit that they're on. So we look back in history about the spiritual significance of comets. When they pass by, what would the energy bring? Now we know that they're big energy, big events, because history is filled with accounts of the arrival of comets and the events that coincided with their arrivals. All the oldest texts we have, all the oldest symbolism and writing inside the walls in these caves and these underground temples, all talks about when a comet arrived, there was a big change in event. And we already seen so many different aspects of radical change, unheard of, miraculous portal gateways, probability of statistically these things happen in these once in a lifetimes. We have just talked about how many of them, even the 7 planets in retrograde all at the same time, was very, very rare, taking us back so then it could sling us forward. The comet or the asteroid child has entered the wound of the Virgo constellation and is bearing a rebirth. So we're looking at how comets affect the lives of the people recording it. In every culture and every corner of the planet, people have always studied the sky for passing comets. They knew their significance and they looked out for them, just like we're watching these now. So a lot of times a comet can bring upheaval, a period of time of death or transformation of old things has to happen before the birth of the new. So in order to have transformation, we have to have ruin. And now we know that ruin is a gift. Ruin is the road to transformation, as stated in Eat, Love, Pray, one of my favorite movies. So our lives may be thrown into a period of limbo. It may be a time that we feel uncertain about our path as we reflect on our past and our current shortcomings. But don't linger there too long. Allow yourself the space to forgive yourself for those past mistakes. Don't perceive them as failures anymore. Look at them as lessons. And even if you're in a process where your life's in turmoil, and if you haven't watched the episode before this of Morning Java for the Soul, it's titled, Has Your Life Gone to Shit? Your spiritual ascension starts with radical change. And for some people, for a large majority of this collective, this could be the radical change aligning these astral events. So the majority of people are pushed into their ascension. They're pushed into their awakening. This may look like an ending to a relationship, an ending of a job, an ending of a belief system, an ending of a way of thinking about others and about ourselves. It serves us a reminder of the vastness of our universe. We did not see this comet Nishimuro until August 13th. Why didn't we see that before? You know, that's my question. It reminds us of our own mortality on the third dimensional physical plane, that we are a spiritual energetic being occupying a human vessel. This time of upheaval could, make us unsure of ourselves. It may upset the established order in our lives. And we see that every day on the television. The media is pushing all this fear. It just wants us to keep us in these dark, low energies of making us afraid. But we're spiritual, energetic beings. We co-create our universe. If you put your energy towards watching that, you are adding the energy to grow that fearful state, that dark energy. So turn it off. I'm not saying to neglect or not show love and kindness and compassion to the people who are suffering right now. That is not what I'm saying. Don't feel sorry for them, though. Don't send them low energy vibrations of hopelessness and fear. Send them love, compassion, protection, understanding. Surround them with the light of unconditional love. Don't look at these events that are happening in fear. That's what they want you to do. They want you to be in a state of fear to keep you in these lower energies. These energies are coming. These transitions are coming, whether we like them or not. And we may be faced with decisions that are very difficult to make. Maybe to move, maybe to leave relationships, maybe to start your own business, maybe to take time out of your life instead of running so much and filling all your time and energy with going people, places, and things, that you actually put that energy and time into your self-growth, to put your energy and time into getting to know who you are as a spiritual, energetic being, and learning how to open up these gifts that are now being offered to us. We are not infallible, and we should remain humble during these times and in constant state of self-reflection on our path to spiritual enlightenment. Everything is working together for the good to bring us into this new frequency of kindness and unconditional love, of passion, desire, understanding. We're going through a rebirth. As the asteroid named the child is now in the womb of the Virgo constellation, we're having a rebirth, a new beginning of the next part of our life journey. We've witnessed the death of old things, ideas, patterns, institutions, beliefs that no longer are resonating for us. And that's why you're seeing the collapse of the banking industry, the collapse of our formal institutions that have been ruling over us for thousands of years, taking our energy, stealing our light. These things have to be cleared out. They have to fall. The tower has to fall in order for new things to come into our lives. So this is a time to evaluate the path that we are on. This new path in front of us is going to bring clarity. And the most important thing we can do right now, other than not focusing on fear, but we can forgive others and we can forgive ourselves, because we didn't know that we were all in this together. We were taught to be diversified and divided and to point out the things about each other that were different, make fun of them, mock them even, to stay away from people that were of different religions, to stay away from people that were of different cultures or different color races. We were taught to be divided because they knew division made us weak. And it's time to forgive ourselves for that. It's time to forgive others for the stage of evolvement that they were in and how they interjected in our lives. Recognize those shortcomings in our lives as lessons and address them. We have the opportunity to be in a state of self-improvement and bring together once and for all the three, the trio, the body, the mind, and the spirit. Comet, the asteroids, the retrogrades, the super blue moons, all these astral events that are happening right now are reminding us that all things are in transit along our journey, and that the best thing that we can do is to keep moving forward. Don't look at the past. Don't reminisce in the things of the past. Turn your eyes to the light. Turn your eyes to the truth that resonates within you and look forward to this beautiful new world that is being created right in front of our eyes. We've got a front row seat to the largest once in a lifetime astronomical events that have never been seen before. So enjoy them, celebrate them, be in the energy of love, kindness, and patience and compassion, and look forward this beautiful arrival of what the Bible described as heaven on earth. Welcome. And you guys, if you enjoyed this reading and this resonated with you and you have a loved one that needs to hear this, please share this with them so more people understand what's going on. More people can enjoy and focus on the beauty of what's transpiring right now, not the fear that they're trying to show us, not the fear that they've embedded into us for so long to keep us hidden from stepping in to who we truly are, to step into that light of knowing that we're a spiritual, energetic being occupying a human vessel, and we're here to have this experience, this beautiful cosmic experience that we are participating in right now. We are learning to dance with the cosmos. How does it feel? Peace.